At this point, the 76ers seem to be a cliche of themselves. From Sam Hinkie in the process that led to immense talent coming out from high draft picks, to the mishandling consistently of injuries to these top draft picks, it's sometimes hard to remember that this isn't a team just of the future, not a team of what-ifs, but a team of right-nows. Very shortly, we will no longer have to speculate of what this team of up-and-comers will look like on the biggest stage, the NBA playoffs. So today I'd like to discuss why this 76ers team has a chance against any Eastern Conference team in a 7-game series.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Woo. Walk it like I talk it. Hey. Walk it like I talk it. 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 Woo. Walk it like I talk it.
Obviously, with the immense talent that Joel and Ben have, they get almost all the spotlight in Philadelphia. But this isn't to say that the rest of the roster isn't constructed marvelously. And in fact, I think they have one of the best roster constructions in the NBA currently. Let me just throw out a few scenarios in the ways that the key contributors on the 76ers use their dynamic abilities to contribute in many facets of the game. We'll start with Philadelphia's three key pieces: Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Dario Saric. And we'll start with the most conventional lineup: Ben Simmons as the power guard, Joel playing the low block, and Dario playing somewhere in between the two. This is what you would call a more traditional outside-in attack, where Ben drives downhill and looks to score or pass to various people, and he can run pick and roll with either Dario or Joel and have the other one stand outside of the three-point line to space the floor and drag a rim protector out with them. Now when you get to the basket on the pick and roll, no matter if you choose Joel or Dario, you're going to have two fantastic rebounders there for offensive putbacks. Now we'll flip it around and play inside out. Let's throw it down to Joel in the low block, where he's become one of the best post players in the modern NBA. But not only is he one of the best post players in the modern NBA, he's one of the best passing bigs as well. He can use the plethora of three-point shooters Philadelphia has on their roster to relieve him of the ball if he's doubled down low. He's become a master at doing such, racking up 3.5 assists per game on such plays. Now we can switch it up again and have Dario be the center point of the offense. We'll give him the ball at the elbow, where he's become one of the best passers out of this position in the NBA. Now he can find cutters like Ben Simmons, who wasn't able to get involved before because he's kind of like the worst three-point shooter in the NBA. And because all three are so tall, they have so many different entry angles they can get the ball to one another with. Those fantastic three-point shooters I mentioned before too come in handy with such big men on the floor. The handoff three-point shot, a new staple in the modern NBA, can be used by J.J. Redick, who's great at this type of shot, or Marco Bellinelli, who's pretty good at it as well. The speed at which they play can also be adjusted by determining who is the centerpiece of the offense. With Ben, you can go fast, running the break constantly, and finding people like Robert Covington, who's great in transition. Or you can play very slow, playing directly out of Embiid in the post. All in all, because of this versatility, the 76ers can score efficiently from every range. And with three of their starting five standing 6'10" or above, they present mismatches both offensively and in the rebounding department. Given this myriad of versatility and advantage-driven traits, it should come as no surprise that the 76ers top 15 in both mid-range and three-point shooting percentage, top 5 in paint field goal percentage, top 5 in fouls drawn per game, top 3 in assists, and number 1 in rebounding. And putting aside Ben and Dario's limitations at scoring, you're looking at a core 3 players that are excellent rebounders, especially on the offensive end, fantastic passers, and have imposing size. All in all, the 76ers offense is complete.
Oh, got it!
Now let's touch on the defensive end, where similarly to the offensive end, they have many advantages working in their favor. I'll speak about their closing five, who's going to consist of, I believe, Ben Simmons, Dario Saric, Joel Embiid, Robert Covington, JJ Redick. You have what's becoming a bona fide rim protector in Joel Embiid. You have what's becoming an elite wing defender in Ben Simmons. You have a 3-and-D player in Robert Covington. You have JJ Redick, who's not known for his defense, but can play well in a system. And you have Dario Saric, whatever. Each in their own right brings something different to the defensive table. But I think more importantly than this, when you put out this lineup, the smallest defender on the floor is 6'5", and the largest is 7'3". It makes me think back to that 3-1 blown lead the Thunder had against the Warriors. People forget because they ended up losing the series just how dominant the Thunder were in the first 4 games on the defensive end. Russell Westbrook, Andre Roberson, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, and Steven Adams were able to do for the better part of the series what no other team was able to throughout the season: slow down the best offense in NBA history, and they did it because of this length I mentioned before. If it wasn't for Klay Thompson catching fire in Game 6, perhaps we're talking about a 2016 Thunder World Championship. To get back to this Philly team, they're even longer than that Thunder team. 35 feet of combined wingspan between the 5 closers, or about the typical height of a foam pole. Some games your shooting might be off, some games you don't get the calls you want, but every single game they walk into the arena, they are going to be longer than their opponent.
Embiid says no indeed.
So whether it's through the plethora of dynamic offensive threats the Sixers have, or whether it's through their length on defense, I hope I've given you some food for thought as to why the 76ers can challenge anyone in the playoffs this year.